Here we go. Ooh, coverage is good. I just don't know how I feel about this foundation. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know the shimmy, then you are clearly new here. So my name is Delana Cherie, and today we are putting to the test the controversial Fenty Beauty Hydrating Foundation. I feel like this is one of those foundations where it's like you either love it or you hate it. I haven't tried it yet, have not even opened the box. So I have this very dirty original formula bottle, but we are actually going to be applying this to one side of the face and applying this guy to the other side of the face, and we are going to see how they wear comparatively. So if you've tried the original formula before, you know that this one is like very, very matte. Like super awesome for oily skin, but tends to be a little bit too textured unless you take really good care of your skin and you like have barely any natural texture and stuff like that. Then this foundation, it just has a tendency to cling to texture, but it's so long wearing. Like it just freaking stays. I have a whole wear test on that. I'll link it here, but fair warning, it's old. It's an old video, so no judgment. Also, I was very pale and I had the wrong shade, and it was just like a whole situation. So if you would like to go laugh at me, you can do that right there. This one is, again, very, very matte, tends to cling to texture. So I feel like that's probably why they came out with this formula for more of those girls that are on like the normal combo dry side. Now, combo can mean a lot of different things. If you are somebody who's combo and you do deal with dry skin, it's better to go with a hydrating formula and then just kind of spot treat those oilier areas. But I do feel like that's why they came out with this guy, because of like the extreme matteness of this. Maybe they were always planning on coming out with this and they just wanted to launch with this formula, or maybe they came up with this formula because of the issues that people had with this one. I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's my theory. However, of course, Fenty launched with a wonderful shade range, one to go with every single one of these. And they say that if you're one shade in this foundation, you're going to be the same shade in this foundation. So I'm really hoping that's true so that my face isn't two separate colors. So I actually had to self-tan for this. So I'm a little bit tan. I have the shade 260. This is definitely a tan shade for me, which is why I tanned before, so that we didn't have another, original video situation going on. So I went ahead and I bought 260 in this one as well. That's right, I bought it. Not sponsored. I'm not famous enough for that yet, so. I will be setting both sides the way that I normally would, and we're going to see how they wear comparatively. Okay, there is the matte side applied. Super easy. Just use a brush. You can use a sponge with it as well. Works just fine either way. I do find that the drier your skin is, or the more textured your skin is, a sponge is usually better with that foundation, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for this. Okay, so obviously this one is in different packaging than the original formula. This one's in this little tube kind of packaging, which I actually really prefer. I love this kind of packaging because, first of all, it's lightweight. This is such a weird thing. Tell me if anybody else can relate to this, because I hate the feeling of frosted bottles in my hand. It is the most nails on a chalkboard thing to me, especially like if you hear like frosted bottles rubbing together. I'm like, if I ever have my own foundation line, it will not be in a freaking frosted bottle. But as you can see, have not used this at all. So this is the same shade, 260, and I'm just going to pump this on the back of my hand. I'm getting really excited. So no primer on or anything. We just have moisturizer. Okay, this shade looks perfect, and I'm just gonna use the same brush. This is the AOA Studios foundation brush. It's the High Def F4. Here we go. Ooh, coverage is good. I'm wondering about the color. I actually think the color is slightly different. It looks a little bit darker than this side and slightly pinker too. It totally does. Look, you can see on camera. It's slightly darker and slightly pinker. This just perfectly blends neck to chest, everything. This one is definitely slightly darker, 100%. Oh yes, I have such a nice little beautiful spider bite right here. That's not a freaking breakout. That's a freaking spider bite that I woke up with the other morning. I'm not bitter at all. Okay, this has been super easy to apply. Just blended right in. Color is just ever so slightly different, but Actually, the more that they're both starting to dry down, the more similar they look. That could be it. Maybe this one is a little bit more oxidized already and this one takes a second to oxidize, which is true about that foundation before. They've even said that whenever they launched it, they were like, let it dry down for a few minutes before you decide what color you are whenever you're swatching in store and whatnot. That is something that they recommended. So this one I do know actually does take a little bit to oxidize, but I want to get a nice close up here. So I should have probably said this at the beginning, but I do have normal to dry skin. This one, you know what this is reminding me of actually? It's reminding me of the It Cosmetics Illumination formula. The finish and everything is so similar. It's definitely more glowy. This side is definitely catching more light than this side, which is great. I love dewy. But yeah, it almost has, my first thought was like, does it have a little bit of shimmer to it? Like it's almost picking up on a little bit of texture because of the kind of glow that it has, but I don't mind it. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, so this is the matte side. As you can see, it's still picking up a lot of light, but there's a lot of lights on me, so any foundation is gonna pick up a little bit of light here. This one just has so much glow. I actually feel like this one is grabbing a little bit more texture around my nose than this one is. As of right now, I actually feel like I'm leaning towards the original formula, to be honest. It's very much too soon to tell. I know that this one is like freaking bulletproof. Like once you set it and everything, it's going to stay. So I hope that this one has similar results. However, any hydrating formula typically does not last as well as a matte formula. So that's kind of my expectation with this. But I was hoping like maybe this one has a nicer texture, but it just doesn't last as well, which I prefer. You know, I'd rather there be really nice texture and it not last as well, depending on the situation. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup. For concealer and powder, I just did mostly the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade Natural with a little bit of the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Snow just to give it a little bit more brightness. And then I set everything with the Hourglass Veil Finish powder or translucent setting powder. This is so crazy. Like on this side, it's all staying set, while on this side, it's like that glow and that hydration is already starting to come through the powder. I tried to keep it as much in the areas where I just had the concealer. So like here, center of the nose, under the eyes and the chin. I'm not gonna set it anywhere else because I want to see how both of them last like on the rest of the face. What the heck? It's like this one is like this one's still powdery and then this one I can feel the hydration. It's like really hydrating. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Applying bronzer to this side is like, it's way more sticky on this side because of the hydration. It's not like sticky, but I can feel my brush grabs to it a little bit more. So I'll just kind of do like these dabbing motions just to kind of lay a layer down. Layer. We're gonna do a little bit of extra contouring today since your girl's a little bit bloated in the face. That is way too much. Oh my goodness. My brows are a little bit thicker than they normally would be. This girl really needs to shape her brows. Let's do a little bit of highlighter. We're actually gonna take the Fenty highlighter. I just don't know how I feel about this foundation. I don't think I'm liking it so far, to be quite frank. But sometimes we put on foundations and at first we don't really like them. And then later you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best foundation I've ever tried. So you never know. Right now it is actually 11:23 a.m. and I'm gonna be pretty much wearing this all day. So this is the hydrating side and then this is the matte side. You guys, I just got home. This side is getting pretty shiny. This side I feel like still looks smoother. I mean, tell me what you guys think. This side to me looks a little bit more textured. It's definitely getting more shine. It's not necessarily moving. Like it still looks pretty good. Like everything feels like it's in place. It's just gathering a lot of shine. And I still feel like it has the same texture that it did whenever I first applied it. So still got several hours left in the day.
Let's see how it looks. I hope it doesn't get more shiny because this is already getting a little out of hand on somebody who has combo to dry skin. So
this is a good shot, right? Yeah, you guys can see me okay. I'm just kidding, guys. It's a joke. Hello, I'm higher now. Ooh, boy, is it the end of the day. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling it. So it is now 8:26, so this has been on for 9 hours, pretty much on the dot. It's going pretty well. I do have to say that on both sides, on the original formula side and the hydrating formula side, they have both managed to settle in my fine lines on my forehead again and again and again, no matter what I've done throughout the day. This one has just really stayed on the skin and really stayed consistent in settling into my fine lines. But that is the only place that it has done it. My like smile lines here looks phenomenal. It has started to break up on both sides of my nose, broke up where I put my sunglasses. I did show several people this throughout the day and I was like, okay, I'm wearing 2 different foundations. Which side did you like better? And everyone that I asked, they all said this side, the original formula side. And I am actually leaning towards the original formula myself. There's nothing about this that's like riding home for me. The coverage is good. Other than that, it just feels like a regular foundation that gets really dewy. So if you're still like on, I want the dewy-ist of dewy, then I think that this would be a good one because it does stay consistently dewy. It has worn perfect. I have no powder on here and it has worn perfectly here. Like I don't really see redness peeking through. It hasn't really like worn off or gotten patchy on my neck. It looks exactly the same as the matte side. Like I feel definitely like the longevity of the hydrating formula, which is crazy, is actually lasting really, really well on my skin. That is a huge A+ for a hydrating foundation to last really, really well. This foundation is just feeling incredibly neutral to me. So, do I recommend it? Not really, honestly. The only person that I would probably recommend this for is somebody with really, really, really like Sahara dry skin because of the coverage and the longevity, but it still has the hydration. But other than that, it's meh. Now, if you are looking for a good foundation because you are looking for something that will just stay on the face, check out this video right here where I actually walk you through all of the tips, tricks, and techniques that you need to know in terms of making your foundation last, because usually it's not the foundation, there are a lot of other factors at play here. So make sure to check out this video right here and I will see you over there. Bye!